Hey, Proforum. This is Curtis Hustace. I'm a photographer in Northern Illinois. I thought I'd do a quick video on uh, a real estate photography topic. I know a lot of people use Photomatics and things like that. I wanted to show you the tool that I found, and I'm probably sure that many people have found it, but just in case you haven't found it, it's a product called Infuse, and it's a plugin for Lightroom. So let me go ahead and show you. Okay, so Lightroom Infuse, the plugin for Infuse is found here at the Photographer's Toolbox. Okay, so you can just Google Lightroom Infuse, E-N-F-U-S-E. With the download, you can download it for free, but it has restrictions to it. So my cat is saying hello. I don't know if you can hear me now. It has restrictions to it, so you'll eventually want to, you can play with it, see if you like it, but to buy it, you have to donate a certain amount. I think that the minimum amount is €3.50. Yes, so this plugin only cost €3.50. So that equates to $5, I think. So if you're cheap like me, I lost my key to Photomatics, so I don't have a key to Photomatics anymore, and I don't know what in the world I did with it. And I can't find it. It was so old. Anyway, I'd probably have to upgrade. It was under an old email that's not recoverable. So anyway, I went ahead and got this. I went ahead and gave them €5 just because I'm a nice guy, so I felt like a big spender that day. So anyway, I donated €5 and got the plugin. So here we are in Lightroom. Lightroom, I shot bracketed shots here, and so it's really easy to work inside Lightroom. So what I do is I take my bracketed shots, and this is my messy kitchen. If my wife knew I was using this for an example, she would kill me. But she's not home right now, so I can do what I want, and I am. So I'm taking a picture of the messy kitchen with the Jif peanut butter jar and everything, and all the crud all over the refrigerator. So if this was a real estate photo, of course I wouldn't want all that crud on the refrigerator. I'd want that turned off, and I'd probably, pardon me, move the Jif bottle. I really don't want to touch too much stuff when I'm inside someone's house, but I would probably ask them to remove all that good stuff. So now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stack these 5 images in Lightroom. So I'm going to just right click here. I'm going to select the thumbnail that I want for the stack, which is that number 3 photo. So I'm just going to sit here and say, okay, stack, group into stack. And then I have my second group of exposures here, 2 through 6. So I'm going to tell it to stack these 2. Oops, wait. So I'm going to select this center one. I'm going to tell it to stack. Where is it? Stack, stack, group into stack. So now I have 2 stacks of this kitchen. And the reason I have 2 stacks of my messy kitchen is I was messing with the exposure. I have a Sony A7R II, which shoots 42 megapixels. 42 megapixels is an insane amount of pixels, and I don't need it for real estate. I don't need it for a lot of things. I use it a lot for my still lifes, so I can get the detail in my still lifes. But that's why I like 42 megapixels. For everything else, I mean, if I had 24, I'm happy with 24. I'd be happy with 18. If I had my Nikon D700 at 12 megapixels, it'd be great. But anyway, so I downsized the sensor to, I have the choice of going to 18 megapixels and 11 megapixels. And so these are 11 megapixel brackets. If this were a super nice house and a really cool kitchen, I'd probably be shooting raw, full size, and then I would resize it in Lightroom and run it. But the smaller the file size, the faster it's going to run. So as I said, Infuse is a plugin. And so I go into plugin extras, And there's my Photomatix Pro. It's just a demo. I didn't actually buy it. I'm still using Lightroom Infuse. So here's Lightroom Infuse. So I'm going to tell it to blend the exposures. And so what it does is, it does this kind of a similar thing. It looks for stacks. So I have stacks, and my cat is on my desk. Go. He's knocking everything off. Okay. So sorry about that. I don't auto-align. That'll speed things up too. I'm shooting on a tripod, and everything should be the same. So it shouldn't be moving. Okay. So if it's moving and it's on a tripod, there's an issue. I tell it what to output to, where to output, and I tell it what I want it output to. So even though I'm shooting standard JPEGs, I'm not manipulating the JPEGs, so they aren't going to lose quality. So I'm now having output the TIFF, and then the TIFF file I will edit for exposure and things like that. So I have a TIFF. I've got the output folder, and I'm just going to go ahead and click Infuse Images. So now, after I click the Infuse Images button, the Infuse is going through and taking those bracketed exposures, each in its own stack, and processing them. So since I have two images and they're 11 megapixels shot on standard JPEG, this shouldn't take too long. And I'm not going to speed this up. I'm just going to let it run so you can kind of get a feel for how long it takes. I could sing, but I probably don't think you'd want me to sing. I mean, I know it's kind of slow here, but it's moving along. The first time I did this, I shot 24 rooms, and I shot them all at 42 megapixels raw, and it took it an hour and a half to do 22 rooms, I think it was. So there they are. Everything is done. Those are the infused images. So that was a lot faster. If I were going to be doing raw, of course, like I said, it would take a lot longer. It takes a lot longer if you tell it to align the images too. So you really want to uncheck that box if at all possible. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two images and take them into develop. Like I said, I had two different exposures with this bracketing. So one was 5 exposures at one stop, and then one was 5 exposures at a third of a stop, I think it was. So I just wanted to see what the difference was. So I still have some detail in the windows, but I want to brighten everything up a little bit. So I'm just going to increase the exposure. I'm going to decrease the highlights a little, bump up the shadows a little bit. And then I'm going to do my levels in whites. So I'm holding down the Alt key to get this, see where I'm losing detail. I'll do the same thing with black. So I know that I'm getting some white whites and some black blacks. Clarity, I'm going to bump the clarity up just a hair. I'm not going to mention vibrance. I'm going to go down to sharpening. I'm going to sharpen this bring this up to about 50, and then my radius down to 0.8. This is just me. This is not the, and then I'm going to mask it, check the mask. I don't want really to apply sharpening to the ceilings and stuff like that. That's just a plain Jane surface, just to the edges. So I'm going to apply my mask. Then what I'm going to do for the windows, I'm going to go into the windows, and before I do this, I'm going to zoom in on the windows. So I'm going to go to the windows, get my brush tool. I'm going to lower my exposure here a little bit, just so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to auto mask for the edges. I'm going to bring this down. And then I'm going to turn the auto mask off. So I might spend a little more time on this than I'm doing here. It's still kind of hot outside, so I'm going to really lower this down a bit. I might just leave this alone though, because for some reason I'm not getting too much. That left window pane looks kind of blown out. I'm just taking out some of the stuff that bled over. So I'm going to go into my highlights, reduce the highlights, bump up the shadows a little bit. I'm not going to mess with that. And then I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out, take a look. So I think so that's about it right there. So then I would export this as a whatever my sizes I want for JPEG, probably an original size and one that's restricted to a 5-pixel box. Same process here. I'm just going to take a look at this window real quick. So, I mean, the detail in here might be a little bit better on this particular window. But I'm just playing with this, and I just thought I'd show you the tool that I'm using. And you may decide to use it. You may not decide to use it. Photomatics does a good job too. From what I understand, I have not really messed with Photomatics. So, you know, this is only $5, $4, something like that. But you know, I think it does pretty good results. It's just up to you guys, what you guys think. So that's it. Thanks, y'all, and have a wonderful day, Proform.